Here is a guide to fit your axle sliders. First, you need your axle sliders. You need a ratchet and the correct sockets for your bike. You need a hammer. You need a random rod. And then you need a drilling machine. And then you need a vise to drill your axle nuts. First thing we notice with the axle sliders is that on the inside of the axle sliders, you see that it is marked where they are supposed to be fitted on your bike. So for example, this one is the front axle nut. It is of course supposed to be fitted on the front axle nut of your bike. First thing we need to have a look at is in your front axle nut. Do you already have a hole? Is the hole big enough? Or is that no hole if you already have a hole? And that you can get your axle slider all the way through and out on the other side of the bike. Then you can proceed to step number 4. If there is already a hole in your hub, but the hole is not big enough, then you can drill the hole from the outside. Like this, you can take your drilling machine with the correct size drill for your axle sliders, then you can drill through from the outside like this. If there is no hole in your axle nut, then the best thing would be remove it. Take it off like this. So what you need to do now when there's no hole in your axle nut is you put it in your vise. You tighten it up like this. Then you take your drilling machine. Of course, you need to make sure to drill it in the middle, and then you drill it like this from the inside. When you have drilled the hole of the axle nut, wait, don't put it in. We need to look at the other side of the front wheel. So if we look at this side on the front wheel, on this bike, there is a pluck. So the hub is not hollow. This pluck needs to be removed. It looks like a bolt you can loosen, but it's actually a plug that we need to knock out from the other side. So now we need to use the threaded rod we had from the beginning of the video, and you need to put that in here until it reaches the plug over here like this, and then you take a hammer on this side and then you knock it out like that. And now you see that on this side of the front wheel there is a hollow hub. And this is what we need to fit the axle sliders, because if you look at this slider, it's supposed to fit inside the front hub, so it needs to be able to come in like this. So now the hub is hollow, and we have drilled the axle nut. Now we can put on the axle nut again. And for this one, you need to tighten it to the spec in the manual. Now we are ready to fit our front axle sliders. What we do is we take the axle sliders, we put it inside the hub like this. You knock it in like this so it fits tight. You go on the other side. This was the one that needs to go inside the hub. Then you put this one on, and then you tighten it all the way until it's inside. Now the axle slider is tied against the front wheel against the front axle, and one thing only: tighten axle sliders with your hands. This is enough. Make sure they are hand tight, but not too tight. That's it.